Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Crypto Hipster Podcast. This is your host, Jamil Hassan, the Crypto Hipster, where I interview founders, entrepreneurs, executives, thought leaders, amazing people all around the world of crypto and blockchain. And today I have another amazing guest. I have Ivan Nikitin, who is the co-founder and CEO at Fortytwo. Ivan, welcome to the show today.
Hey, great to be here.
Awesome. Happy to have you, and I look forward to a conversation. Yeah, this is very cool. So let me ask you first. Ask everybody the same question. What is your background, and is it a logical background for what you're doing now?
Yes, I would believe so. I actually come from AI space. My co-founders and I, we've been working for about 10 years in foundational AI, doing various projects, training language models, doing products based on and services based on LLMs. And we got to experience the sort of the limitations and scalability of language models firsthand. Since we've been pretty early in the space, we did a lot of manual work building various pipelines, and it naturally led us to where we are right now. Because after dealing with all the challenges and bottlenecks of model training, of deployment of services, and seeing how sort of like AI models have been hitting a plateau in terms of scalability of their capacity and their intelligence. We saw this potential with smaller specialized models that we believe are much more efficient. And generally, we are advocates for the future where there's not going to be one single God model that will be able to do everything, but rather many smaller models representing different domains of expertise. And crypto is actually the way for us to reach that future. If we create a network where we allow everyone to contribute such specialized models, data for the creation of such models. So it's sort of like naturally led us to the space.
Awesome. So I'm gonna get into some of those smaller models but I want to find out what Fortytwo is all about, including your vision and your mission, and then some of those lessons that you've learned that you've brought into your current scope of your business.
Sure. So at Fortitude, what we are essentially are building is the network that is capable of uniting the capabilities of and expertise of various models. So it's you can think of it as a new kind of AI architecture where instead of trying to put all of the expertise inside one big monolithic model, we create a network and the whole network acts as a singular model. So every time an inference is processed on Forty-Two, it's not processed by a single model, but rather the network of models. So we deploy those models on consumer hardware. So we have already a quite strong community. About 700 nodes are currently live on our network. People who believe in the mission and who believe in the concept, and they're running those nodes in the background of their primary machines. Some of them are renting cloud compute, and we have about 45,000 people on the wait list. So, we get quite a bit of interest from the community already. And the idea here is like the way it works. When you interact with Fortitude, when you send your prompt, your query to the network, the first thing that happens, individual nodes on the network determine whether they have the expertise to contribute a response. So if it's a coding task, only the coder models would be participating. And then they organize in the subgroup where they generate the inferences in parallel to each other. And after that, they get to review each other's work. So they do pairwise ranking. They look, hey, is this answer better than the other answer? All their outputs are fully anonymized, so the model cannot have like the preference for like its own response or something like that. So the models get to do the ranking, and then they pick the highest ranked responses to aggregate the final output. So the final answer you're getting is not just the best answer from the swarm, but it's actually an aggregation of different bits and pieces of information provided by multiple models that were deemed to be capable by their peers. So we recently ran some benchmarks, all the key benchmarks like GPQA Diamond, which is a hard science benchmark for LLMs. We ran math benchmarks like AMI 2025, Live Code Bench, which is a coding benchmark. And even to our surprise, we saw that this process that we're calling swarm inference was able to achieve higher accuracy than all the frontier models. So we outperformed GPT-5, Gemini, Grok 4, and Anthropic models on those benchmarks. But what's most important is not just us being slightly more accurate and capable in benchmarks, because a lot of skepticism is around today about the different models being like overly optimized for specific benchmarks, and that optimization does not truly convert to improvements in real world use cases. But the kind of improvement that we bring to the space is what we're calling reasoning resilience. Because even today, there are amazing new releases of models like Gemini 3 came out recently. It's a great model. We had Opus 4.5 released last week from Anthropic, another great achievement. But the thing is, none of those models are very reliable. So, of course, they can provide you a great response, but you never know whether what you're getting is an accurate information, whether it's a code that would actually compile and do what you intended it to do, or if you're getting like some more factual analysis, if there's like hallucination or something like that you might not even notice that it's there. So there's a lot of concern still with the reliability and hallucinations that come with LLMs. But because we give a chance for models on our network to verify and validate each other's work, to rate it on accuracy, rate it on completeness, rate it on the style, whether the user's intention or the prompt was fully followed, and many other aspects, the final result already gives a much higher guarantee that what you're getting is of higher accuracy and is hallucination proof, because it already passed through the pipeline of the peer review by some of the established models on the network. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of Fortytwo. Just last important thing that I want to highlight is generally like the vision. Because initially when we started Fortytwo, we thought, hey, there's this issue with AI scalability. We found a way how we can scale AI horizontally. But lately we've been thinking that there's a larger mission, and that mission is in our age when there's so much stake in the AI space. There's a lot of like centralization of control over the AI technology, and the big tech labs are growing like it's impossible to catch with them, with the infinite capital and the ever-growing compute capacity and so forth. But what we're building is a different path to how AI can evolve, because rather than relying on our own achievements in model training, data preparation, and so forth, we're giving it to the community. So it becomes representative not just of opinions and ideology of those companies and the nations that support AI deployment, but rather giving the control to the people all over the world. And especially in our day and age of AI hype, we can only imagine how many people are studying AI today, how many people are pursuing degrees in AI. And I'm not sure that many people who are currently feeling excited about AI see like a clear career path towards $100 million contract at Meta, or just getting a decent position somewhere where they can meaningfully contribute to AI. But we actually give this opportunity. In some sense, it can be compared to how to like early days of Wikipedia, because like what made Wikipedia the kind of like default source of knowledge on the internet, it's just there was no gatekeeping. Like anyone could come there, create a page, look at others' pages, like make some edits, and then it built a sort of like a reputation system of the editors, and that introduced some control. So Fortytwo is kind of similar in that way because you can run any model as part of the network. You just trained a specialized model that is your expert on jazz history, or you're expert on CT scan analysis, or Delaware corporate law, or something like that. You keep that model private. It's running on your machine. You're not sharing or showing that model to anyone, but that model shares the inferences, the outputs with the rest of the network. And so the network can grow through the contribution of all the AI enthusiasts around the world who are capable of training or doing like smaller fine tunes of existing models, providing them additional expertise, plug into the network. The network grows smarter by the day, and in that way is able to compete with the frontier labs.
Interesting. Interesting. So yeah, you said a few times. You said okay, 700 nodes. You said cryptocurrency is a path. So there, I want to find out the key trends in decentralized, like decentralized. There's centralized AI and decentralized AI. So I want to find out what some of the key trends in decentralized AI are right now.
So, um, the centralized AI has mostly been focused on distributed training. There are some very strong teams in the space that are focusing, like primarily prime intellect, pluralis, that are focusing on doing distributed training of models, and they're having some early success in that regard. But we are focusing on the inference side of things. So we don't care about the training. We would benefit from it because no matter where the models come from, if it's a new open source model that was brought by OpenAI, by some lab in Europe, in China, in the UAE, or who knows where, all those models can be plugged to our network. If it's a model trained on a decentralized network, great. Like the more model variation we bring to Fortytwo, the smarter our network gets.
Got it. I've had some challenges recently with ChatGPT. Like yesterday, I cooked a 4 pound top round roast and oven roast beef. So I got the the instructions from ChatGPT. It said sear it for 15 minutes at 450 degrees, and then lower the temperature to 225 for 2 hours for medium rare. And after 1 hour, I had a medium well. Roast, and I'm like, if I cooked it for another hour, it would have been like a crispy, burnt, like hard thing. So I'm like, you still got some inaccuracies there, right? So,
Yeah.
what are the challenges in fixing those inaccuracies, and is that what's holding adoption back?
Exactly. And next time you decide to cook something, please reach out. We'll give you API access to Fortitude so you wouldn't screw up the cooking. Yeah, so that is precisely my point that as great as the recent models are, unfortunately, they all have the problem with hallucinations, and you never know when you're getting the response on which you can rely, or if something is completely made up. And it just considering how advanced are now the tasks that we give to LLMs, it just getting harder and harder for us as people to verify the outputs that we're getting. Because if we like a few years ago were using LLMs primarily to do like simple tasks like text summarization. Well, it's easy; you can quickly glimpse over the text and see if it's right or not. But if you're giving it something that, if it's a coding task, if it's a scientific task, if you wanted to do like a deep research and gave ChatGPT maybe like 20 minutes to an hour to find some sources on the internet and provide you with the analysis, like still to this point, part of the references, part of the links would be made up, and it would take maybe just equal amount of time for you to go through all of that and make sure that what you're getting is accurate.
So let's see. So each person's so each person will end up customizing their version of AI that works for them, which means that that goes into the area of AI agents, right? So I want to find out what the current state of AI agents are and where we're headed next with AI agents.
I think it's pretty early for AI agents. We saw quite a bit of interest in the space, like in the beginning of the year. There was a lot of hype, and it did seem like, from where I was standing, it sounded like especially on Twitter, people were seeing agents are as the ultimate users of crypto because it always seemed like the biggest problem in the space is there are not enough users. The user adoption is not where everyone expected it to be, but agents are here. Like crypto is ideal infrastructure for those kind of applications and services and so forth. But it quickly became clear that agents at that time were nothing more than a gimmick. So we saw that a lot of interest was lost, but now it's coming back, and now we're seeing that there are some very interesting cases, some interest experiments where agents are being tasked with like trading, with like doing some more responsible tasks and so forth. But the thing is, once again, it's hard to rely on an agent when there's no human in the loop that can ensure that the information on which that agent operates is accurate. And because there's no kind of like in between verifiability of the information and the inferences, it quickly starts to snowball, like it starts to compound. Because imagine if an agent runs on GPT inferences, for example, and it got something slightly wrong. But what it's going to do, it's going to start using that information, running more and more prompts over and over. And that means that little piece of information that was hallucinated would start to compound, and it could lead to disastrous results in the end. And like again, part of our thesis is ensuring that information on which agents operate is the key unlock for the entire space. And this is precisely what we are offering with our own infrastructure at this point.
That sounds good. Making sure that garbage in, garbage out, right? So
Yep.
you want to make sure the best information. That makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. You know, um, I think as soon as the market hit December 1st, I expected like a relief from like the brutal October and brutal November, and what happened was it dumped even more. It dumped like a lot, like it had like a lot of algorithms and agents dumping overnight into December 1st.
Yeah.
I hope it recovers by the end of this month. So, what's the danger like, and what's the danger in that? And then what's the opportunity for the crypto investor who doesn't use those agents to recognize where there's hallucinations?
So the dangers are we're still very early. Like we're seeing what we're seeing in the space are early experiments and definitely not something that can be relied on, definitely not something that should be put into production, and definitely not the kind of applications where real money should be involved. So it's great to see like there's a Alpha Arena where multiple frontier LLMs are currently competing with virtual money. They're just doing trading based on the market rates and so forth. And we saw like I think there was a report today that well, all of the LLMs lost pretty much all of their money. So again, that shows that this the space is at the early stage. Like we're beginning to see the kind of use cases, but we're not there yet in terms of quality and accuracy to ensure that well we could use it in the real world.
Yeah. I won't use it with my money yet. The money, the
Yeah.
little bit of money I have left, you know. Um, so I'm particularly interested, though, use different models, right? And I've had debates, had conversations with people who think that federated learning and other types of models offer better opportunities in Web3 than these LLMs, right? How can these models be better, offer better opportunities, and why should more people use these better models because everybody seems like they're using Chat GPT or Grok or whatever. Like, what's the benefits of using the smaller models?
So with the small models, no matter whether they came from decentralized projects or centralized efforts, the thing is, it's much more efficient to create a small model that can do one thing well, rather than one God model that can do everything. And we've been seeing that over and over. And we actually ran a small pilot project on our own network where we used our network to generate a data set on Rust. Rust is a programming language widely used in Web3 space, and we thought, hey, it's going to be great that we are community-driven AI, and we use the power of our network to create something that will benefit the industry and the community. So we generated just 200,000 data points on Rust, and we use that data to fine-tune one of the open source models. It's a small 14 billion parameter Quant 2.5 model. What surprised us is that with the first iteration, just one iteration, we were able to achieve state of the art in Rust coding with that simple fine tune. So it demonstrates once again that it's so much more easier to do post training of existing models, achieving state of the art capabilities in various domains, rather than trying to juggle all the domains, creating a large model that, once again, as I've been saying, would be able to do everything as efficiently. So this right now creates like a path towards next level of AI capabilities, where we are no longer waiting for the next generation of GPT model or new releases from Grok, Google, and Anthropic, but rather we're in a constant cycle where we see more and more models appearing, where each model is like the best expert for the task that you're dealing with. So we believe that this is the future, and but the problem is, how do we navigate this landscape? Because I'm sure that no matter what task you currently have, you can go in Hugging Face and you can find the model that would be much better than the frontier models for that particular task. But the discovery is very difficult as of right now. And what Fortytwo solves in this case is you're not dealing with any individual models. You don't have to pick a model for your task. You leave it to the network to sort of find you the best experts and allow them to work together, getting you the best output possible.
I've been on Hugging Face. There are or hundreds of thousands of, like, how do I sift
Yes.
through this? So
Yes.
you make this sifting through that very simplistic and easy to
Exactly.
navigate.
You don't have to think about it. So we benefit from all new model releases, and we unify them on our network. So it's up to the node operators to select, like, hey, do we want to run one of the models that we provide as like default options? Do we run any of the new releases that just appeared on Hugging Face? Do we run some of the custom models that we created or fine-tuned ourselves? So we leave it to the node operators to bring new model variation to the network.
I like it. I like it. It sounds good. All right. So with that in mind, how can these decentralized node operators for AI, help improve? Like, there's some bottlenecks in some of the L1 networks, blockchain networks still. Like, there's still bottlenecks on Solana, on Avalanche, on Ethereum. You know, and I also how can the AI node operators, centralized node operators help with like oracles like Chainlink? How can they improve the infrastructure that exists for blockchain?
So from the AI perspective, like if we take a look at our case, the very reason why we need the blockchain is for our reputation system. Because as I mentioned, the whole concept is the whole architecture of Fortytwo is we build it in a way that even if we as a company stop maintaining it, or if we cease to exist as a like a legal entity, as a team, the network could live on. It's a peer-to-peer network with no gatekeeping, with no centralized orchestration or routing, so anyone can join and the peer-to-peer network grows. But the thing is, how can we allow anyone to bring any kind of model and remain sure that the accuracy is not going to degrade? Like, what if someone brought a very poor model, a very poor attempt at fine-tuning a training of a model? Or maybe someone tries to attack the network by bringing malicious nodes that just generate spam messages. So for that, we have the reputation system. So when you bring a new model to the network, it has zero reputation. So it generates the inference, but its opinions are not considered for the final responses, but they're still getting peer ranked by the models that already have some reputation on the network. So we're calling this proof of capability consensus. It sort of takes us back to the roots of crypto with proof of work, because there's no staking. Like to operate a node on Fortytwo, you don't need to do any financial staking, but you need to run your node for maybe even up to a week without any rewards or real participation, but your node will be earning reputation in its time. It's going to be like showing its work to its peers and being judged on its outputs. So for us, we needed a ledger where we can keep the historical reputation, the historical performance of individual participants. And that is the key unlock for us, how we could make this a fully permissionless, where anyone can participate, anyone can contribute whatever, and staying sure that new models cannot degrade the accuracy, but they can only improve it.
Proof of capability consensus.
Yes.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. I hope to hear more of it over time. So very cool. So I have a couple last questions. One is, people still consider generative AI as a threat and not as an opportunity, right? Not as a tool for being successful, while other people are like building entire empires, just them and AI, right? So why should people not think of it as a threat any longer? Why should they think of it as an opportunity for themselves?
The kind of vertical that we at Fortytwo are most excited about are various code generators, vibe coding platforms, coding copilots, and the key here is the copilot element. So, of course, there's a lot of expectation that at some point LLMs will replace software engineers. No, it's not going to happen, because all those advancements, they contribute to co-piloting rather than being the first pilot. So those are the tools that increase the efficiency of existing specialists working in the field. And they also allow to sort of, in a sense, level the capabilities between junior experts and senior experts. So we really boost the outputs and capabilities of junior experts, allowing them to more actively iterate, be able to solve some of the problems, be able to sort of like, instead of spending hours on sites like Stack Overflow or different like Reddit's forums trying to find a solution to maybe something to some problem that previously many others have had. They instead spend their time with an LLM trying to get to the bottom of this, getting along the way, getting some decent explanation of the roots of the problem, of the proposed solution, and so forth. So it's a great learning tool, and it's a great tool to advance in your career. Of course, as any tool, like everything is great in moderation, and of course, a lot of ethics should be revolved around reviewing of the work. Because if you do have a co-pilot, never forget that you are still the first pilot. You are still ultimately responsible for the outcome, and don't just copy paste the code and put it into production. Make sure that you review it, make sure that you understand it, make sure that you agree with it, and only then continue to use it.
Awesome. I used Copilot for the first time in the past couple of weeks on 3 podcast episode covers. The cover art. One was Thanksgiving special. I had a buffet look for Christmas for Thanksgiving, and the next one was like landscape in China, and the third one was like a montage of major cities in the U.S. So I was like, this works pretty good, So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for yours too. So I'll see what I come up with. So I want to thank you very much for your time today. I enjoyed speaking with you. I have one last question. Um, how can people find out more information about you, about Fortytwo? How can they use your platform? How can they do that?
Sure. So we're active on X. Could be found by our handle, which is just Fortytwo. It used to be Fortytwo Network, but now it's simpler, shorter, nicer. And of course on our website, which is 42.network. That's where people can apply to run the nodes and learn more about our research and what we are currently doing.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you for having me.